In so many ways, Aolani is just like any other 8-year-old girl. But like the 3.2 million kids her age, she is already a victim of one of the most damaging epidemics affecting our youth, bullying. In a Doctor's Daytime exclusive, Aolani and her family share their story.
My name is Aolani, and I'm 8 years old.
From the time she was like maybe 4, she wanted long hair.
She is a biracial child, so she had a little short fro.
I wanted Grammy's hair. I was jealous of it.
She kept saying, Grammy, I want hair like yours. So, of course, what do grandmothers do? They want to give their grandchildren their dream. I spoke with beauticians, cosmetologists, and they told me that we should be fine for her at her age as long as us as the adults took care of it properly. She said, I want pink in mine, Grammy, like yours. And she was so excited because she had her hair. And off to school she went. She came home and she told me that they kept saying, you're stupid, you got a wig, you're stupid, especially 2 little boys.
Kids started pulling on it here in class and at lunch and on the school bus and in the hall and everywhere.
So I called and the principal replied to me, well, you have to admit it's a drastic change. And I told her, I don't care if she comes to school with her hair spiked in green, yellow, purple, every color of the sun, as long as it's not dangerous to other children, that she be respected and it be left alone. The next day, Aolani came home and said they had been pulling it all day again.
My eyes started watering, and they said, are you crying? I said, no.
I was on the phone first thing. She said, naturally, we can't just take Aolani's word for it.
I didn't even scream or cry or say anything, because they called me a baby.
When it's done day after day, it's bullying.
It was scary, because I thought they would do it again.
The 3rd day into it, she came home and she said, I've got blood in my hair. And she said I could feel the stitches pop. And the thread that they use is like upholstery thread. And for that to be popped, it had to be pulled really hard. After 2 weeks, I leaned over to give Aolani a hug and I noticed a really bad smell. We started kind of lifting and looking, and that's when I took the extensions out. There was 2 big quarter-sized bald spots, and the hair that was braided was glued to her head with the pus and the drainage that had come from the sores.
I unbraided, the braids fell out in my hand. The whole time I was taking it out and it was falling out and I was seeing it. I cried the whole time. Oh God, you know, this is horrible. And I said, I'm taking her to the emergency room.
The ER doctor said that he'd never seen a case of hair pulling like that. It was the equivalent of a 3rd-degree burn.
That's all right, Mama's doing a fine job.
I was like, is her hair gonna grow back in? And he said he couldn't promise that he would. She's 8 years old, she's gonna wear a wig the rest of her life. Oh God.
Joining us now is Aolani's mother and grandmother, Sarah and Doris. Thank you for being with us. I know this is very hard to talk about because you have a beautiful, beautiful daughter and granddaughter. Has she ever dealt with bullying before?
Maybe a little in the past, but never to this extent.
And she wanted hair like her grandmother. And then now that she got the weave and the kids pulled on it and it got infectious, now it almost looks like she might never have long hair like that. So do you feel kind of responsible for it in any way?
I do. Because I just wanted to give my baby her dream. She just wanted long hair to comb and play with. And I felt like if I'd have never had the weave done, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. And before we go on, I just kind of want people at home who don't know how a weave works to just kind of go through that a little bit. So usually with the hair on the scalp, it's braided, and it's braided into tight little rows. And then what happens is it's actually using thread. The hair is actually sewn in. And what happened is that the kids started to pull on it. And so as this happened, it got infected, and then the traction kind of pulled some of the scalp away and caused this terrible situation.
But Doris, you were worried if it was safe or not. You asked the experts, and they said it was okay.
I talked to cosmetologists of color, and they all said that the basic thing, you know, was keeping it clean and to take care of it. And as long as we would be doing that, that they didn't feel like there would be any harm.
The one thing that a lot of folks, especially if you have a full set of hair, is the scalp. Underneath the scalp is a potential space for severe infections. We've all seen them, and they can actually fester, and you don't even always know it because you might have a little nick in your skin. In this case, it could be from pulling on hair and that traction. And I think really the sad part of Aolani's situation is it was clearly festering for days and weeks without you all even realizing that this infection had grown so bad.
That's right.
I know after all of this happened, we had to shave her head. Her hair fell out. So what did you guys do as support and a movement of solidarity to kind of let her know it's okay to be bald? It's okay to have short hair.
There were about 10 family members and friends. We shaved our heads too.
Oh.
If my baby doesn't have hair, I'm not gonna have hair.
So beautiful. The aunt, the friends, everybody. I love that.
I know you were really frustrated with the response you were getting from the school, and you just really kept pounding on doors until you got some answers. How frustrating was that process to not be listened to at first?
Oh, it drove me crazy. They said the principal, the school's assistant principal, the school nurse, and the school counselor all checked it and found nothing.
Her school released this to us. It reads, the administration immediately investigated and dealt with the students who had engaged in the behavior, and appropriate disciplinary action was taken against them. In addition, the incident was investigated by the Carroll County Sheriff's Office, and it is our understanding from the Sheriff's Office that no criminal charges have been sought regarding the matter. Well, given that this happened and we can't change that incident, hopefully we can change the future. Mm-hmm. But our hope is that we can give Aolani the hair that she so dreams of. Dermatologists have told Aolani's mom, Sarah, that her daughter's damaged scalp may never grow hair again. But there is hope. Aolani's actually in our procedure room right now with hair restoration specialist, Dr. Yazdan. He's been examining her scalp while we've been talking out here. He's going to come out with Aolani after the break, and we're going to talk about what her future holds.
They kept saying, you're stupid, you got a wig, you're stupid.
Kids started pulling on it during class and at work and on the school bus.
She came home and she said, I've got blood in my hair. And that's when I took the extensions out.
The braids fell out in my hand. I cried the whole time. She's 8 years old, she's going to wear a wig the rest of her life.
Just a few weeks after her bullying incident, Aolani's scalp is still healing from the aggressive hair pulling that left her with wounds and a severe infection under her scalp. I want you all to give Aolani a very warm welcome. So, Aolani, it was pretty cool. Your mom and grandma showed us pictures of your friends and family. Was it cool when they shaved all their hair off with you?
It was really happy for me that I knew people were supportive of me.
So that made you feel good?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Aolani, you look so fantastic. Can you stand up and show the audience your dress and model? Look at you! You are so beautiful. Just gorgeous.
We were bragging about you out here.
We were.
While you were back there with Dr. Yazdan. And Dr. Yazdan, I do want to go to you briefly because obviously you spent some time looking at the damage done to Aolani's scalp. It seems from those pictures we looked at that a lot of damage was done. Where can she go from here in terms of the potential to grow her hair back?
You know, the damage that I saw, it's pretty severe. This is one of the worst cases that I've seen. But what's nice is that she's still young, and of course children have a higher regenerative capacity than do adults. With that being said, there's a couple of things that we can do to help her case. I mean, she's suffering at this point from a traumatic hair loss, which has led to some scarring of the hair follicles. And so if this is caught early enough, there are some stuff that we can do that can help some of those hair follicles that haven't been fibrosed over to regenerate and regrow. And one of the things that I'd like to offer for her is called PRP injections. PRP stands for platelet-rich plasma. It's essentially a concentration of platelets from her own blood that are really high in growth factors and healing agents. What you do is you take a small amount of blood, you process it, you separate out the platelets, and then activate them, and then you inject those into the scalp. And what this will do is it will help decrease the inflammation. It's going to help increase the wound healing, and it's going to help regenerate some hair growth. And once we let her wound heal and we see how much hair growth there is, at that point we can further assess in terms of doing a hair restoration procedure for her.
So basically there's hope.
Absolutely. The bottom line is that there is hope, and we're going to do our best so that she does get some hair back and she won't have to wear a wig for the rest of her life.
And Dr. Yazdan, what he's saying, Dr. Yazdan wasn't here today just to examine Aolani. You're going to help her with this.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And you are such a special young lady that we have a few other special guests that wanted to come say hi to you. Pete, Penny, are you out there? Penny, hey. Kayla, Denise.
Oh, look to your left. What do we see here? Oh my God. Happy Pete, live and in the flesh.
So Kayla and Denise have Pete and Penny. Which one's Pete and which one's Penny?
This one's Pete, that one's Penny.
Oh my gosh, I've never been this close to a penguin.
You want to go say hi?
I'll bring him down here. Or you can go ahead and touch him right here.
He's so soft.
What does it feel like?
It's soft.
Oh, I always kind of wondered what they felt like.
And Aolani, aren't they beautiful?
Yes, that's exactly right.
Right.
They're beautiful, unique individuals, aren't they, baby? Yeah, look at it. Thank you for having them come out.
Well, they wanted to come spend some time with you because they think that you are such a spectacular, spectacular young lady. And our friends at SeaWorld also want to send you, okay, Aolani, they're going to send you and your family to SeaWorld Orlando and Aquatica Orlando. You're going to go for 2 nights and 3 days. The whole family, you're going to be able to get up close to these cute penguins like Pete and Penny here at the Antarctica Empire of the Penguin attraction. You don't have to worry about any of the costs because they're going to fly you with airplane tickets included as well.
Nice.
Oh, my goodness.
We look forward to seeing the pictures, okay? Thank you so much. We'll be right back.